Hello, my name is Alexa and I will begin my persuasive speech in just a moment. Since 1976, roughly 1,434 people have been killed in the U.S. as a form of punishment for crimes that they have committed, and as of January 1st of this year, there are currently 2,943 more people waiting for their turn to be executed. Currently, the practice of capital punishment is legal in 31 states according to an article published by CNN. While it is a common thought that we need to punish someone severely for a crime that they have committed, it is important that we, the people who make up the United States population, make sure we are fully aware of just how negative the use of capital punishment may be. After all, it is the decision to legally kill someone else. With all the information presented regarding capital punishment, I believe the use of capital punishment should be completely abolished in the United States. While there are many arguments as to why capital punishment does not work for our society, I will focus my argument on how capital punishment negatively affects our society as a whole, the inhumane treatment of the prisoners involved, and the fact that innocent people may be executed in error. To begin, the idea of using capital punishment is to deter further crime. Realistically, though, the use of the death penalty as a form of punishment does not have any positive effect on deterring crime. Studies reflected by an article published by Amnesty International USA reflect that states that do not use capital punishment actually have the same steady decline in homicide rates over time as the states that do use capital punishment, and in fact have lower homicide rates overall compared to those who utilize capital punishment. Aside from not deterring crime, it is pointed out by Wendy Hicks in her publication regarding the effects of capital punishment that capital punishment has been shown to have a brutalization effect on society. A particular study examining the state of Oklahoma found that the action of at least one or more executions in any particular month caused an increase of roughly 2 homicides the following month. This study concluded that executions stimulate more homicides within a society because of the devaluation of human life shown by the execution. Even further, capital punishment also affects our society's economic situation. Recent cost studies of various states published by Amnesty International USA show that the death penalty is actually more expensive than other alternatives. For example, California on average spends $137 million per year with our current system, which includes the death penalty, as opposed to the $11.5 million per year that they could be spending on their system if it didn't include capital punishment. Overall, the use of capital punishment does seem to have a rather negative effect on society. It is even more unsettling how inhumane the treatment is that people are subjected to during the execution process. As published by the Death Penalty Information Center, past execution methods, including hanging, electrocution, and lethal gas, all have a history of issues which can cause the prisoners to suffer a great deal before they die. Jennifer Latson of Time magazine published a story of Jesse Tefero, which is a perfect example of just how wrong these processes can go. Jesse Tefero was sentenced to death by electrocution in 1990. Due to the use of an incorrectly replaced sponge on the headpiece, Tefero's head caught on fire and caused him to suffer for 7 minutes while being shocked 2 additional times before finally passing away. Currently, the lethal injection method is primarily used in execution. The combination of drugs used was broken down by Amnesty International so that it is a little easier to understand. First, the anesthetic, such as phenobarbital, is used to cause the prisoner to go unconscious. Then, pancuronium bromide is used to cause total paralysis. And finally, potassium chloride is released to stop the heart. Multiple issues can result if any of these drugs are not administered correctly. If the prisoner is not fully unconscious, for example, before the potassium chloride is administered, the prisoner can suffer very severe pain. The execution of Angel Diaz is one of many which reflects how lethal injection execution can go wrong. As told by Victoria Gill of BBC News, Diaz's execution lasted a total of 34 minutes and an entire second round of injections were required. The autopsy following his execution showed chemical burns where the needles had been placed, and the needles had apparently been pushed all the way through his vein and into the soft tissue. Research later found that Diaz likely died from suffocation caused by the pancuronium bromide-induced paralysis, and it is possible that the potassium chloride that was administered to stop his heart caused him to feel a severe burning sensation. The method of lethal injection used in criminal executions is not considered to be humane enough even to be used on animals, as the American Veterinary Medical Association refused to use drugs such as the pancuronium bromide when putting down animals. As mentioned by Amnesty International USA, Texas actually bans the use of pancuronium bromide on animals while still using it on prisoner executions. Lastly, aside from its effects on society and its inhumane practices, capital punishment should be abolished for the simple fact that innocent people can be killed in the process. Amnesty International USA brings attention to the example of Jonathan Hoffman. Jonathan Hoffman was exonerated in 2007 after being sentenced to death because of false witness testimony. General Porter had made deals with the prosecutors for testifying against Hoffman in his case and had finally admitted to falsifying his testimony. This is just one story of the many that have been exonerated while awaiting death in prison. The American Civil Liberties Union pointed out that from 1973 to 2015, there have been roughly 148 exonerations of innocent people who are awaiting their capital punishment sentences to be carried out. Studies show that 1 in every 25 people sentenced to death are likely to be innocent of the accused crimes. Using execution as a form of punishment for murder would seem ridiculous with the possibility of innocent people being executed just because they were falsely accused. In conclusion, execution as a form of punishment should be abolished completely. With the possibility of innocent people losing their lives, the inhumane treatment of criminals in the process, and the negative effects on society, execution seems to be a poor choice for criminal punishment, and it goes against everything we as a society generally view as morality in the first place. Punishment for crimes can still be served without other lives being taken. Thank you.